What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting. We hunt for the good reels so you don't have to. And most importantly, welcome to RePlay or ReBoot, our monthly show with Matt Facci down here, where we compare the original movie versus their remake counterpart. We're going to have a good time today with Matt, of course. We're happy to have him on the channel for this episode. Last month, we were on his channel for the Child's Play. Today, we're doing Hills Have Eyes. We'll put the link to that other video up over Brett's head over here so you can check that one out too. But anyway, how you guys doing today? You guys ready or what?
I'm ready. Ready to rock.
Man, I'm more excited than a kid on his birthday. I'll tell you that for sure.
Oh,
It's a good one.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, as of this recording, it is my birthday, and all I want for my birthday was to hang out with my boys Brad and Matt, and I am ready to talk about this. Well, actually, what are we talking about today?
I got no idea.
Okay, you know what? While we're thinking of that, I do have a story. Like, I was like up in the Tennessee Hills because you know the Hills of Tennessee, whatever that one particular song is, and I could have swore I saw some eyes in the hills. So I got nervous, so I just came straight on home, and I'm never going to the hills again.
That's a good bet on your part. You don't want to mess with eyes in the hills. I think that's a bad.
Oh, speaking of Eyes in the Hills, today's episode we're going to be doing the Hills Have Eyes the original versus the Hills Have Eyes the remake. That's what we're doing today.
I thought we were doing the Hills Have Thighs, man. I watched the wrong set of movies for this.
Damn it. They're so thick.
No. In a way, that this movie they were focusing on tenderloin, so it could be a thigh.
How about you fill us in on what our categories are going to be here today, Perkman?
All right. Well, the categories that we got lined up for you all today, we are going to go for story, characters, kills, mutants, and of course, popular number 5, overall enjoyment.
Okay, I think so. Going in, I don't know, man. What are we thinking going in before we get into these categories? What are you guys excited to tackle here today?
I'm definitely.
Matt, you go right ahead.
I'm a huge. I can't give it away right now, right off the bat, but I'm a huge fan of the mutants in general, and in both of these films. So I'm very curious to see how they're going to interact with each other to see which one comes out on top. And characters, they're very, very similar in these two movies. They're not. It's really hard to kind of stray away from one another because they're pretty much identical the whole way around. So, unlike Child's Play, where they were way different, this one's kind of like they're too similar. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna play out here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we kind of mentioned on our first episode. The difference, like the main difference between remake and reboot, is a remake. It's like a kind of like exactly the same as the original, but just kind of like Brad messaged me the other night, just with better cameras, which I thought that was an excellent. I thought that was an excellent joke. And then a reboot is you are taking things from the original, but you're molding it in a way where you're your own thing, kind of like how Child's Play, what we did for the first episode. Yeah. So this is why we chose like these first 2 episodes, why it works so perfect, because we're kind of teaching you the difference between reboot and remake. It all really just comes down to the like littlest of things of the difference. So that's why I'm glad we're doing this episode. And damn, are these movies identical? So it's going to be really tough judging this one.
Absolutely, man. It's going to be fun. I never realized how close they were. I've seen the original Hills Have Eyes, but it's been a long time. And then we watched the remake not too long ago. Really liked it. And then I went back and watched the original. I'm like, holy cow, dude, every single thing in here is taken from this original movie. So it was. So, and which we'll get into that. So where do you guys want to start at today?
It's the birthday boy's day, so I'll let him decide which.
Okie dokie.
Man, eeny, meeny, miny, you. Let's go with story. Let's go ahead and knock the hard one out of the way first, because literally there's pretty much so identical. Like they didn't change one aspect of this story.
That is true. Like you said, this is one's way more difficult to do than Child's Play, no doubt.
Well, I think I think this category is pretty freaking easy. I mean, I think the story's the same, so you got to go with the original story to me. But because I mean, they didn't change anything in the next one. It was kind of just like, oh, let's just take every shot from this movie and put it in this movie. So the story to me is hands down easy peasy, the first one, because that's where the story originated from, and that's where it came from. Mm-hmm. So I don't. Yeah, that's one thing for sure that that I have to go in the OG's favor there.
Yeah, and pretty much just what the overall point of this story too is that a family is celebrating a wedding anniversary, and they're going on a trip to California. I'm pretty sure they were going to Hollywood. They're going to Hollywood, right? I'm pretty sure that's what I thought, because I remember there was a line that Lynn said about Hollywood.
Yeah, LA in general,
yeah. And then of course they took a wrong turn. And then they get in an accident. They're stuck in the middle of nowhere, and that's where these whole bunch of mutant cannibals are just creating all kinds of torture and hell. And then the family fights back. That's pretty much the gist of it. I was going to think of doing the other kind of like a short, easy sweep with this.
Yes, the story is the same. A problem with the original for me was the actual accident that occurred. It didn't make any sense. Okay, they kept zooming in on them damn fighter jets multiple times. I mean, I understand. I guess I understand why they were there, but it really was kind of out of place. It didn't really fit. And then they're just like swerving down the road, trying to like what was in the middle of the road? It was like a rabbit or something, and they freaking swerved out of the way to miss the damn thing and then crash. I thought that was terrible. In the remake, it made sense. The mutants put down the spike strip, they hit the spike strip, and they crashed into the rock. It's the same story, and like you said, Brad, it's kind of hard to go against the original because it's identical besides the crash scene. And I might be biased because I seen the remake first. I'm gonna go with the remake story on this one.
Oh my gosh!
But that's going to be the hard point, Brad, with your thing. Yeah, like of course you can't mess with the original story just because you know the original did it first. So I don't think that's fair to say that. Like for the remake, like because again, I feel like they're trying to respect it. Like they're respecting what came before it.
Yeah, this was saying, hey, your story is good. We're going to do the exact same thing again. So they didn't change enough in the story for this story to be better than the original. It's the same thing. And I think the only thing they really did they changed on it was the third act where he goes to Nuketown. And to me, I don't really like that because it really slows the pacing down. Like you get to the climax in the trailer, and then you kind of start the whole thing over again, and he goes to a whole new setting and all this stuff, and it goes on forever. There are some cool moments there, but overall I usually get kind of taken out of the movie at that point. Whereas in the original one, it's a little bit faster. He goes straight out to get the baby, and then they freaking blow the dude up at the back of the RV, and everything's kind of wrapped up there pretty quickly. And they got I've that's just my preference, but I had to just kind of throw that out there, Bert. Sorry, you go right ahead, my friend.
No, that's totally okay. Like, cause that's actually a really good point you brought up. But I'm actually going to go with the remake. I didn't mind about that last act of the remake of the story-wise going to the Nuketown. To me, it added more to it, to the mutants and their backstory. And it also helped Doug, too, to develop his character and making him a badass, like the rare badass final guy, which I really didn't get that as much in the original, like, for him. So that's why I'm going with the remake on this one for story.
Well, the original had final. They had there's 3 people there that was left.
Yeah,
and it was the what was her name there in this first one? Was it? Let's see. It wasn't whatever her name was. Lynn, maybe? No, that was T. Wallace. Anyway, I had the younger daughter that was still alive back there, freaking killing the main bad guy there. Who came back to the camp. So I thought that was nice to have that kind of set, because you had the younger kid with the one of the sisters that's still alive, she's been tormented and stuff.
Yep.
And
Bobby and Brenda, I believe, are the 2 kids' names.
Double B's. All right, I like it. Okay. Just like Brett and Brad, right? All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way they teamed up together to take out the main bad guy who went after them, and just the whole aspect of the mutants or whatever going out to them after I don't know. We'll get into the mutants, but anyway, we're beyond that point. You guys chose the remake. We will move on here.
But your vote is still for the original.
Oh,
right?
100%. That's where the story came from. So I don't think there's any question about it for me. But okay, ready to rock and roll.
All right, since I chose the first one, Matt, go ahead and choose our second one. Because besides overall enjoyment, we always save that for last. So.
I guess we'll go characters next. I guess we'll go with.
Oh, see, this one was my toughest one because, like, I love things from both of them. Because, like, in the original, I loved the dad, like the retired officer dad. I loved him a lot better in the OG. I liked there's some. Oh yeah, I liked Bobby better in the OG than I did in the remake. But in the remake, I liked Lynn and Barbara a lot better. So and of course, like I love Dee Wallace portrayal as Lynn too in the original because I didn't even know that Dee Wallace was in the movie. So she did a great job, with her character and her role and all that. It's tough. It's really tough because it comes down to the simplest of things. But see, I just like the more development of Doug in the remake than I did in the original. Just to me, I can put him on a pedestal a lot more, makes him more memorable. So I'm going with remake again, but trust me, this is the toughest one because the OG characters were really, really strong in that movie too.
Very good point.
Absolutely.
Want me to go next, Brad?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll just keep the clockwise thing going on.
All right. I guess I'm leaning towards the remake in this category again. I like Bobby in. You like Bobby in the original better, Brett. I liked him better in the remake.
Okay.
Even though he was a bit whinier, I would say, but I liked his relationship with Brenda a lot in the remake. I thought. I know we're not basing it off of cuteness or anything, but I thought Brenda from the OG and the remake were pretty cute. So, but I gotta go with Brenda from the remake as well for her character. I enjoyed that as well, even though they're kind of pretty much identical. Lynn, on the other hand, I went with Dee Wallace, of course. I thought she did a great job. Like you said, I didn't even know she was in that movie. So that was whenever I saw her on screen, I was like, wait a minute. I said, is that Dee Wallace? And I went straight to Wikipedia or whatever, and nope. There she is. I was like,
yeah, that's what I did too. Like when the credits hit and they say introducing or Dee Wallace, I'm like, oh, hold on, man. I gotta double check this to make sure I'm watching the right movie here. But
no clue she was in that movie whatsoever. I forgot to mention huge characters in this movie. You did anyway, Brett. Beauty and Beast. Great characters.
Oh yes.
They were nice to pet. They were soft. They had nice hair, nice coats.
Ferocious little bastards.
They were vicious little pieces of shit, I'll tell you that. But they were I mean, technically they are characters in the film. We follow them throughout the film in both of them.
Most definitely.
They were pretty much the same though in either one. There was no kept the same type of dog and everything. So that one matched up pretty good. The dad, he seemed like a bigger dick in the remake than he did in the original. So I'd probably have to go with the original dad. The mom was very similar in both, so that kind of evens out too. The gas station attendant, I like the one from the original. He just had a lot more character in he even had charm, even though he was dirty and you know what I mean. But there was just a charm about that guy compared to the remake's gas station attendant, who obviously was just a sleazeball and didn't give a shit about that family going to be butchered and eaten and whatnot. So this is a tough.
Because wasn't the gas attendant in the remake telling them to go on this quick path, and then in the original he said stay on the path. He definitely cared two different types of characters for the gas attendant, which I did like the original gas the gas guy more. especially when he was trying to hang himself, and he's like, "Oh, you get down from there!" Like I kind of
You little idiot.
chuckled there a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I really like that guy's character because in this original one, he's trying to get out from all this stuff. He's done with these guys. Like he doesn't want any involvement. At the beginning, he's actually him and the what's the little one's name? The
Ruby, I believe. Yeah,
Ruby. Yeah, they're trying to just leave all these guys in the woods by themselves, or in the hills, I should say, and balance. So I like that dynamic to the character for sure. I didn't even think about that guy, but that's a great point.
And it all comes down to the main man, Doug. And in the original, he didn't really do too much. He kind of was just there. In the remake, at the beginning, you're like, man, look at this pussy ass guy. He's not going to do anything. He's probably going to be one of the first ones to die because I didn't see the original at that point, so I didn't know how it was going to play out. But his character he rose to the challenge throughout this movie. He realized he had to get shit done, or they were all going to die. And he went from being a nobody cell phone salesman loser guy to freaking being the Rambo that family needed at that point. And he was kick ass. And I think Doug really sways me in the direction of the remake again.
Alrighty. So that's another one for the remake. And fuck you, Doug. Brad, why would you say that, you rascal?
It is a tough category. I like right off the bat, a big negative for the remake is the lack of originality in the characters. With the exception of the Doug character, everybody else is completely ripped from the first movie, and that's especially they made Ted Levine look exactly like old Bob from the first movie. Like he looks identical. You could say they were really brothers in real life, and I would buy it. And I mean, it goes all the way to that point. Everybody else. I actually think Beauty and Beast were better in the original. I think that they were still solid in the remake, but I think they were a little bit more actual characters in the original. I think with the way they were written and the way the mutants were freaking out about them, and like they were genuinely scared of these dogs in the original one. And I like that aspect. I did like Bobby more in the original one too. Like Brett said, the gas station guy, of course, was better than in the original. The rest of I like Doug's character in the original. He was kind of funny, like he was kind of charming, and he had his little mustache, and like I thought he was kind of cool.
Yeah.
In that one too.
The mustache.
So those were all good, and I liked. Let me see. Bobby, like I said, I thought he was a little bit less whiny in this one, and Brenda was great too. I thought her and Bobby really. They had some good chemistry together, and the way they were working together at the end was awesome, and I love seeing that. And they kind of like in the remake, Doug is the one out there kicking all the ass, and then this one they're kind of left there to defend for themselves, and they do that a little bit in the remake, but in this one they're doing it with the main daddy bad guy here, and I thought that was kind of cool, and they did well with that. I thought that was entertaining. At the end of the day, I mean, just because
what'd you think of Lynn?
Lynn, was that Doug's wife?
Yeah, that was Doug's wife.
I liked her. I don't really remember either one of them standing above the other one. I think they were both pretty solid. I think I don't remember. I don't remember one of them being obviously better than the other one. I think they were pretty equal. I liked her in both. Doug, I did like Doug quite a bit more in the remake, so I'll probably go ahead and give this one to the remake as well because of that. And it's because what you guys said, he has an arc and everything, and I think that was great. And just taking that time to really get to know one of these characters is really where I think this one wins for me.
Alrighty, that is 3 for the remake.
So, yeah, old man Bobby though, dude. Old man Bob. I'm gonna go with you, Matt, on that one. Ted Levine, I think, is better. In the movie, he's more entertaining. Yeah. But the character, as far as the character goes himself, I like because Ted's character is pretty much the same character, so I'm going to give that one to the OG. But overall, we're going to go with the remake.
Alrighty, and Brad, since you got picked now, what do you want to talk about, kills or mutants?
Let's go ahead and talk about the mutants.
All right, and we're not talking about the X-Men mutants. We're just talking about these cannibal mutants. So, that'll have to be just another episode for another time.
Absolutely. Right. You want to go first this time, Bert, man?
Yeah, you can go first.
So this was good. Okay, so obviously they're kind of different. They're portrayed differently in the remake and the original. So this one in the remake, they're obviously there's a little bit more special effects going on, and they're actual mutants from nuclear fallouts and all this, and I think maybe they touched on that a little bit in the original, but overall they were just kind of they didn't make them look as gross as they do here in the remake. So that's how they're a little bit different. However, the one freaking Michael Berryman, man, in that first one is absolute. He's absolute gold as Pluto. Like that's absolute perfect. That's where he gets the introduction. Of course, I'm referring to the old chicken fucker from Devil's Rejects here, and he's so he's fantastic in this one, man. I think I like the Ruby one as well. That little element of her trying to get out and the whole dynamic she has. To me, I feel like in the original movie there are more characters, and the second the remake they're more monsters. Like here these guys actually have character elements about them, and I like that. And I think in the original movie they're smarter. With the way that they get on, Pluto. I think was it Pluto or is it? Yeah, that's Michael Berryman, right? Pluto.
Yeah, that's Michael Berryman.
He gets on the radio and he's making freaking dog noises, and he gets on there and he's like, "Oh, how armed are you guys?" And like, "Oh, we don't have anything," and all that stuff, like trying to figure out more intel and stuff like that. I love that. That's fantastic. And the way they're outsmarting these guys left and right. And there was actually another little element there too. When the whole trailer scene, the whole climax happened where they get their way in there, and obviously shit hits the fan at that point. There was something else that led up to, I think it was when they were doing the dog noises on the radio. Yeah, at that point, and that kind of got Bobby out, and then they lit not Doug, old Bob on fire, and his nuts roasting on an open fire. Yeah, so he was out there and. Anyway, he was out there freaking burning. So I thought they added a little bit more to his character there, or to the mutants. Just the way they were, I don't know, they were constantly outsmarting our protagonist here. And the way they snuck up, they took the gas from the vehicle while they were in it, like to go burn Bob with. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yes.
And they made the dog sounds to draw him out, and just I really enjoyed that. And most importantly, Pluto to me was a win, because the way he's like, the way he's terrified of Beast, but then after he freaking gets chopped up by Beast there at the end, and he calls him a puke eater. He's looking over there. He's like, "Hey, you little puke eater," whatever. He's like, "Get out of here." I just love that. That was a nice moment. And overall, I think I'm going to go with the original in this, just because they feel like more characters, and they feel more original, and they feel, they feel like they actually improved the story a little bit, I think.
Shoot, Matt, do you want to try to follow that? Because I got nothing. He took pretty much everything I was going to say.
Once again, being very biased, I lean toward the remake and the mutants in this category as well. Pluto in the remake, oh my gosh, he looks amazing. They could put a Jason mask on him and he could be freaking Jason Voorhees, no doubt. Because he got the bald head, he got them little scraggly hairs and shit. He was vicious. I can't get into kills yet, but yeah, right off the bat, you get Pluto just like that. I wasn't scared of Pluto in the original. He did look, I don't know, he just looked like a normal bald-headed guy, just kind of weird. But all the mutants in the second one were what they were. They were mutants, like you said. In the original, they really didn't touch too much on the nuclear aspect of it or anything like that. So obviously, they didn't go to the dentist in the first one, so their teeth were a little bit black and falling out of their mouths. In the remake, their mouths were messed up. Like they're all over the place, and necks are all crooked and shit. Especially that guy in the wheelchair back at the nuke town. Gosh, it's fucking
he got a little big headed right there.
It's so big you can't even lift it up. So that's why he's in the wheelchair for damn sure. That one mutant with like the neck brace thing on in the remake, I thought that was very interesting as well. Well, how they would even know that he had a neck problem, I guess, that he would need that brace on. I thought he looked pretty cool. Ruby, she was like the least mutant looking in the original. I would say she just looked like a regular girl. Obviously, in the second one, obviously you could tell that there was something. She was mutated and disfigured. I think her kindness was there in both of them, so I think she kind of is. That's a draw for her character, I think.
Right.
In Lizard from the remake as well, the one pulling the shots pretty much. I thought he was fantastic as well. He was vicious. He didn't give a shit about not that any of these cannibals or mutants cared about anybody's life or anything, but I just thought Lizard was freaking. He was the most vicious of all of them, and it was weird that Pluto is obviously the biggest one in the yard, but he's takes orders from everybody else because obviously he's not as smart as them. So he's kind of just the muscle behind the brains of the operation. I wish we got more of Pluto in the remake than we did. I think as big as he was, as brutal as he was, he should have been involved a little bit more, I think. But I'd have to go with the remake for Mutants for me as well.
Alrighty, so I guess I'm the tiebreaker here.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, this is tough because Michael Berryman, iconic in this role as Pluto, like because he's on the poster for crying out loud, like because they really relied on him to sell the mutants in the original, which to me I feel like he did, but I understand where Matt's coming from, why he picked the remake because it actually like fully like displayed the look of the mutants in a very gruesome and gnarly way, and I like to use the word gnarly. I'm not sure why, but besides the point. Lizard, I actually liked Lizard in both movies, so that to me is a draw. Pluto, I'm picking the original, and kind of like the dad one from the original, you know, kind of like his nose is split.
Oh yeah,
that was great practical effect work, especially for the 70s. So I give major props on that. And Ruby, I might lean towards the original on that one. Like to me, I know she's not like looking all like a mutant, but to me, I feel like and that's what the point Brad really brought into this whole conversation. It's just the characters. Like I feel like there is more characters with the originals than there are with the remake. Because remake, all they're there for is just to create chaos and kill people. And even though I will say the mutants definitely get a major plus for the trailer scene. Absolutely, the remake really sold the dark, like the very dark scene of that. There with Barbara or Brenda and Lynn and the mom, like makes you extremely uncomfortable. Which the original it was uncomfortable too, but just a remake just takes it to a whole nother level on that. But that was like the big highlight for the mutants to me in that. So I am actually going to pick the original for the mutants.
Ooh.
My man!
My man! Mainly just for the fact because, like, with villains, I like them to have character too, versus just go in and just randomly kill people without reason. To me, I feel like we got, like, better reasoning. Even though the remake did a better job, like, explaining, like, the nuclear, the bomb and all that. But the original, I just have a better time with them. And it's mainly because of Michael Berryman, because he just looked the part, he played the part, and I really enjoyed it.
You little puke eater. And you made good points, Matt. I think they look badass in the remake. Like the effect work they put into them was awesome. To me, there just wasn't anything really proprietary about it. I mean, it's essentially the same thing as Wrong Turn people. Like we've seen that 100 times at this point. Whereas the original is like, I don't know, they kind of stand out more against some of those other kind of inbred hillbilly kind of, you know, things because of how smart they are and how cerebral they are in that movie. And yeah, Michael Berryman, he's the man. He's the man.
My man.
They looked fantastic though in the remake.
Yeah, they really did. So, but that was again like the difference between 70s effects versus 2000 effects. So that's why I kind of like give the original, like, especially with that nose job and friggin' Michael Berryman's like Achilles getting bit by the dog.
Oh yeah,
just look at that. That for a 70s effect, that was pretty damn gruesome.
That was gnarly.
See, it's going to be a thing, gnarly.
Got my surfboard all waxed up.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna go on the Matt's favorite category because you're such a big slasher guy. We're gonna let you go first on this. Let's talk about them damn kills.
And in the kills category, I'm assuming we're talking all the kills, right? Even the mutants kills as well included in this too.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, all the kills. Let's bring them all on.
All the kills. Damn, this is pretty sad, but I don't. In the original, I don't remember any of the kills at all.
They're pretty much the same ones from the remakes, so.
They may be, but obviously the remake being newer, they're freaking amped up and bloodier and gorier, of course. I did like Bob's death in the original. I thought his death was better. That CGI fire shit that they did in the remake looked terrible.
Oh gosh,
I didn't really notice it the first time I watched that movie, but upon rewatching it, it's not good. It's pretty bad. I like that they show in the original they show nailing Bob through his hands and shit to that.
Oh yeah.
That was good. I like that. So that kill's definitely gonna go to the OG.
What about when they make Bob just freaking run until he passes out, dude?
Yeah, because they did mention he had a heart condition too. So I think they listened in on that. They used that to their advantage to tire him out. Yeah, back to Brad's point of them being smart.
Yep. So that goes to them for sure. I mean, I do like in the remake whenever he's getting in that car and then you just hear "Daddy" when that guy's in the back.
Oh yeah.
The gas station attendant's kill in the remake is fantastic. Oh, and he blows his freaking head off. That's good shit right there. That's some Maniac 1980s shit right there. The opening thing of the remake, you get Pluto bashing somebody with a pickaxe right off the bat, slamming the shit out off the rocks. So I'm hooked from the minute this movie begins, obviously.
Yeah, you like that too, because that was just a little bit of a shade towards My Bloody Valentine with the miner.
Maybe it was with the pickaxe. I don't know.
Oh, come on, I know you.
Any movie with the pickaxe is going to be ranked up pretty high. So I did love that, and that's the first thing I thought of. Honestly, I was like, "Shit, that's some My Bloody Valentine shit right there." But that guy's not obviously as strong as Pluto. Clearly, Pluto's a monster. Mm-hmm. The mom and Lynn's death are pretty much the same thing, pretty much. So they're kind of evening it out. I mean, shoots her in the head. I mean, it looks good, but it's nothing to write home about, obviously, at all. The mutant kills, once Doug gets to freaking Nuketown, he ain't playing games, whacking the shit out of them. And then whenever Beast ate that guy in the freaking ate the guy in the wheelchair with the big head. That wasn't supposed to be funny, but I thought it was hilarious.
It's kind of funny.
Them dogs are vicious in both of them. Well, not Beauty. Beauty was not very good because she got killed early on.
Yeah. She was beautiful inside and out.
Yes. She couldn't resort to the violence that Beast obviously could because he was messing up all them mutants in both films. So his kill was pretty good in both.
Yeah, and they even gave Dog's character too, because even Pluto said I killed your bitch. Yeah, so I just thought about that, but yeah, anything else, Matt, with the kills? Because we know you're going remake.
You don't know that. Pluto's death was great. Obviously, whenever Doug is whining for his life, and then the guy in the wheelchair is making fun of him, I thought that was hilarious. And then he just stabbed Pluto in the foot. Pluto's big ass, you wouldn't even think that would even hurt him whatsoever. And then he freaking just boom puts that American flag through his head. I love that. As much as I didn't want Pluto to die because I loved him, I just based on the blood and the gore, obviously, remake for me in that category as well.
All right, that's another one for the remake.
Oh no.
But but Brad, let me go ahead and just say it. It's going to be remake for me too, just because with me, if you're going to do kills, you got to do them right. And I understand the 70s can't do what the 2000s did, but sometimes with the 70s, you can still create iconic kills that are just itch into your head. like a prime example of that is Black Christmas with the glass unicorn kill. That's always iconic, and that was from the 70s. But like from the remakes they did, like some of their kills aren't really memorable. So especially the 2019 one. Fuck the 2019 one. But back to the main point. The original did have some good deaths to it, but it kind of confused me too because there is a Hills Have Eyes 2 where Pluto is in it. So was that supposed to be like a prequel, or he survived it, or
I haven't seen
so
it.
like because I don't know anything about the second one. So let us know in the comments section about that because that was one of my questions I did have about the movie. But yeah, the trailer with the devs same. Like nothing different, but yeah, the Bob kill. I do pick the original on that just because to me they just sold it a lot more, and just the CGI fire looked awful. But just where it really gets me with the kills is the last act with the Nuketown and the trailer when he opens that door. We actually get to see him, and then just the whole trailer explodes, and Brenda gets her big moment at the end. So damn awesome. So I'm going with for kills. I'm going with the remake.
Yeah, I mean, they're both pretty solid. I like the way obviously the remake's going to have more gore and more effects in there, and they do a great job of that. It makes it brutal, and I like the kills from the original. Like you said, the Bob one was great. I like that one's fantastic. And another one I like when they kill Big Daddy Hillbilly guy out there. Freaking what's his name? Not Pluto and Nash. There's another.
Jupiter.
Jupiter, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Jupiter, that's his name.
When they set up that trap, they leave Grandma out there, out over there by the fire, and she's dead, of course. She's on the little camp chair, and then they lure him over there, and they lasso him in, and they suck him in. But then the thing breaks. But he's going for a ride up until that point. I was like, that was really cool. And the whole trap they set up with the trailer was cool. And then ultimately they ended up killing him another way. But I thought that was all fun. I just wanted to mention that. But I will go with the remake as well in this category for reasons you guys have already said. Just amped up, more kills, more brutality, and just overall more stuff going on with those, and a lot of mutant kills too. I will throw in, of course, the little rattlesnake kill from the original too, where that freaked me the hell out.
About that one, that was good.
Yeah,
because I hate snakes.
That was
Ruby, right? Ruby,
yes, and of course though. I didn't even mention this. Freaking Pluto's death in the original was fantastic. I mean, it was getting ripped to pieces by Beast, and the Achilles freaking getting ripped out, and the effects there for the 70s was freaking gnarly and awesome.
That was good. Damn, and I forgot to. Ruby saved the day in both of them, didn't she? Or am I wrong?
No, yeah, she did. She took one for the team in that remake, especially.
Lizard. I mean, whenever Doug was freaking blasting the shit out of him with a shotgun, which I find hard to believe that he wasn't dead, but that's beside the point. Ruby just running over there and tackling hit Lizard's ass like a linebacker. That was fantastic. She stepped her game up.
100%.
You could say her favorite song was Free Fallin'.
Oh, yeah.
Free Fallin'. But no, I actually will give the Lizard dev to the original with all the multiple stabbings with Doug. Because I thought that was cool, but but you know, like the remake will actually show all those stabbings, so I understand the cutoff on that.
I don't have to see the actual stabbings to get the effect of the kill. Like to me, I think that was like you said, Brett, that was awesome, and the way they ended the movie with that, right into the credits.
No, I hated that a lot.
Where it instantly goes to the end.
Yeah, I rewound it. I was like, wait a minute, did I miss something in the last couple minutes of that movie? Or now I was like, wait a minute, he stabbed him, and then that was it. I like the heroic music that played in the remake when Doug walks up with the baby and the dog, and he looks like freaking badass. I like that way better. But
oh yeah, if it's just you see the pair of telescopes, that's the last shot. Like they didn't kill all of them. Yeah.
Have you guys? I know I've never seen the original Hills Have Eyes 2. Have you seen the remake? Hills Have Eyes 2? Yeah.
Yes, and I actually enjoy that movie. Like it's not great for most people's standards, but I have a good time with it.
I liked it.
I do too. Where he falls in the shitter at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Derek Mears
Oh,
is in it.
man.
What the hell? Of course I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
he's the new freaking.
But yeah,
Barryman
like
in that
Matt,
one.
you enjoyed that movie, so I would suggest to you to watch the remake,
I probably will.
or not the remake, but the
The
second one
original.
of the remake.
Yep.
So, all right, we're going down to the last category. This is our popular one we always save for last. Just the overall enjoyment. What did you all think overall about both movies?
You want me to roll?
You can go.
Yeah,
Man.
let's
Okay.
roll it away.
We'll start things off with a bang here. I like. Obviously, they're both fantastic. I think they're good in their own ways. At the end of the day, the lack of creativity from the remake dropped it down a lot of points for me because it's just, I mean, it's essentially the shot for shot remake up until the ending. So that to me dropped it down a few notches on my opinion scale. There's some things I really enjoy about the original that make it to me a little bit more scary. Like maybe the remake is more brutal, but the original to me is a little bit more scary. It feels a little bit more real at times, and it's really just kind of Wes Craven's direction that I think really goes a long ways in that first one. Just a lot of little subtle things, like when they first wreck out on the path there, when they first wreck out and they're kind of sitting out there just kind of having some food, whatever. It's just kind of a subtle little suspense building thing. When they're sitting there, there's some ominous music playing in the dark. The dogs are just freaking out inside. They're just freaking sitting in there barking away. And it's just like, what are they barking at? It's just a little bit of a suspenseful moment, because they know something's up. And I think that's a great moment. A couple other little things that was there that I liked. So when you get to like the trailer sequence, like the climax, the most brutal part of the movie, or at least what should be the most brutal part of the movie, I like the way it's done in the original more. I think obviously in the remake there's more effects, there's more, they show a little bit more and stuff, but I like the suspense, the way they shoot the original one. It feels a little bit more real. It feels more claustrophobic, the way the shots are close and it's shaky and it's just like, yeah, I really like that. And I think it's a little bit more freaky in that because of the way the way they're in there. Like Bobby comes walking back up. When he walks away to check on the dogs, he leaves the trailer door open. He walks away, he comes back, and we just kind of subtly see that now the trailer door is closed. And he's like, okay, what's going on? It doesn't cut in there or anything yet, but we know there's something going on in there. We know there's been a change since he's walked away and he's come back, and something's messed with the door there. And he goes and talks with Doug in the car, and then we kind of figure out what's going on inside. I think that those little subtle things like that really bring me in and make things a little bit more scary in my mind, I guess. And I like the way they did that. They did this. It was just, again, a little bit more subtle. I like that might be kind of everything I needed to say about that. But
okay.
But let's see.
So the most important question of all is, which one are you going to go with?
Okay, yeah. So another couple of things about the trailer sequence.
Okay, go ahead.
I mentioned the close-up shots. I like the fact that he tries to kill Brenda. With the gun, point blank, pulls the trigger and it doesn't go off, and he's like, "I'll be back. You're not safe. I'm going to be. You just hang out. I'll be back whenever I want to kill you."
Oh, he did say, "I'll be back." Even though here's the problem, he broke the rule. He ain't coming back.
He went back.
He did come back, but he didn't do it very well. And but I like that little sequence.
But he was doing very well last night.
Yeah, I like that. Again, the kills obviously a little bit more brutal in the remake in this sequence, but again, the suspense to me is what gives me the enjoyment out of it and makes it feel more scary. So I like that, and just the whole sequence where they take the little Tenderloin up there to the camp. Yeah, that was creepy, man. The way they were talking, because I believe in the remake they take the baby and they run up there and they're like, it just kind of, they disappear and then they find them later. I like the way this cuts to them like making dinner plans and getting the baby all tenderized up and stuff. I don't know. It was a little bit creepy. So anyway, for all that being said, I like some of the subtle things they do better in the Hills Have Eyes original movie, which give the edge of that to me. I also like the third act more so in this, because I think it goes, because again, the trailer thing should be the highest peak of the movie, and just to kind of restart the whole setting and make things try to outdo that, it wasn't needed. And I like the way it's paced in the third act better in the original. So I'm going to go that route. That was a long-winded answer.
All right. So 1 for the original for the overall enjoyment. Matt, what do you think, buddy?
Oh man, since we had 4 categories so far, and I haven't picked the OG for any of them.
So if my math is correct,
overall enjoyment has to go to the OG, right? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, that would be a twist.
No, not at all. The 2006 remake, 100%, 110%. I like everything about it. I like better. It was the original done for me better. Everything about it, obviously, with the votes that I gave were better. Kills, characters, for the most part. I do like what you said about the baby better in the OG. I didn't think about that at all, but in the remake they don't really do anything with the baby. They just take it and it sits there for. It shows what they're gonna do to it in the original. They're gonna, maybe have some nice baby back fillets or something.
As they're sitting there eating Bob, by the way, they're sitting there eating.
Hey, they like their Bob extra crispy.
That was
Bob's Burgers, eh?
Yeah.
I still need to watch that show.
Oh, I love Bob's Burgers. But overall enjoyment, it's a kick-ass rush watching the 2006 one. When I watched the original, I wasn't really rooting for anybody at all. In the remake, I was rooting for Doug. Not at first, obviously, but as he went through, I was definitely pulling for Doug. I like to see his growth and maturity throughout this film compared to being the little wuss in the beginning. I don't like guns and blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the movie, just freaking, like I said before, 100% Rambo on their ass, chopping them up with axes and knives and flag sticks that are only this big. He doesn't give a shit. He's killing everybody. And I had a blast with 2006. So I have to go with the remake.
All right. So with this one, I respect what the original did. With the originality, as Brad has kept on talking about for this episode, which I totally agree with. The idea of it is great. However, the point, the horror remakes, like all of them, some of the things they don't do very well is just like to retell a story that just will captivate an audience or to enhance it. Yeah. I really feel like the remake for this one really does enhance a lot of the things. Like, it doesn't do it perfectly. Like, we still have, the remakes still have its problems, but this remake is considered to be one of the best horror remakes out there. And a thing I thought about, what could make the remake better is if they would have brought back Wes Craven as the director. Because I feel like with all the with all the technology and the practical effects available in the 2000s, Wes Craven could have really tapped onto that to tell his original story better. I really feel like he could have. But Wes Craven's the damn man. He's one of my favorites of all time. So I really enjoyed what he did with the original. But I'm going with the remake. To me, it's more memorable. That trailer scene is more memorable. I absolutely love the third act, which I understand it's like the Nuketown and all that probably wasn't needed. But I still enjoy it too, because to me, I did have suspenseful moments in that as well, where Doug is just slowly moving around, trying to find the baby. And then just with the trailer blowing up and Doug just going to town, like Matt said, him being like this pretty much a bitch at the beginning, but at the end, damn, does he turn into an amazing final guy and just starts killing everything in sight, not giving a shit. He's only focused on one thing, and that's protecting that baby. And so the remake, I have more fun. I love the. I don't mind that. The pacing to me was good, just because I know what we're going to expect with the brutality and all that. But both movies did a great job with tone and atmosphere and making you feel uncomfortable. Both movies did a really great job at that. But I am going to give this all the way to the remake.
Woo! And I can't really dispute it. I mean, I think that makes sense. I have a lot of people seem to enjoy this one more so. And I would agree with you. For some reason, for me, I don't know why, everybody seems to love the portion of the movie, the third act, but for me, I always kind of up until that point, I'm like, yeah, this is way better than, it's way more exciting and way more enjoyable, but it just loses it for me at that point. It just slows down, and it seems to add a lot of runtime to the movie that's not really needed. But I don't know why I feel that way. I just do. I think it's just maybe because the whole trailer thing just happened and you want to keep rolling with that momentum. But yeah, to me, it slows down for a little bit and he gets stuck in the freezer. Like maybe if you take out that part where he gets stuck in the freezer and all that, I would like it a little bit more. I don't know. But either way, I think you're.
But aren't you curious where they keep the juicy tenderloin meat?
In the deep freezer, my friend.
Yeah. Overall, these are
probably
both
just
great
the
movies.
mutants also wanted Doug to chill, you know?
Yeah.
What
cool
better way
down.
to do it if
Chill
in the
out.
freezer?
Relax.
Chill out.
Oh man. So let's do a quick recap real quick right before we close out here. The remake got 11 while the original had 4. So Brad, we give you Brad had 3 for the original and 2 for the remake. I had 1 for the OG and 4 for the remake, and Matt had all 5 for the remake.
Breaking records.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's a record-breaking performance. So that is it for the original or for the Hills Have Eyes. And do y'all have any last things you want to say about both of these movies? Because the only quick thing I'll say real quick is the remake, I give it a 4.5 out of 5. And then the original, I have not rated yet. I just wanted to wait and do this show with you guys before I rate it. But I'm going to give the original, a 4 out of 5.
Heck yeah! For me, they're both 4s for me. So they're both awesome movies. They're both fantastic. I don't take anything away from the remake aside from of course the originality. But I have a good time with both of these. What about you?
I'd give the remake about a 4 as well, and I would give the OG a 3.
A 3? He hated it. Oh no!
That's not hate. A 3's good.
Yeah, I know.
So I can easily do math on both of those. So we're going to give both the original and the remake a good old trip to the Tosche station to get some good old power converters.
But I was going into Tosche station to pick up some power converters.
I think you should do all that math for us real quick.
I really do not feel like it. like we'll do a separate stream where all you'll see me do for 2 hours is math.
Exciting.
Yeah, that was fun.
So speaking of exciting, Matt, what do you have coming up on your channel? As of this recording of April the 18th.
I won't have a live show on Wednesday like I usually do. I had to move it to Friday, which I can't remember the date off the top of my head.
But the 23rd.
The 23rd. I moved it to the 23rd with Destiny and Robbie, and we're gonna finish our discussion of the 2000 tour from 2006 to 2010. So
hell yeah,
we're doing.
I'm excited for that because y'all did a great job with the first part of it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the second part, especially when you all talk about Jennifer's body. Because I know Destiny's just doing the show, so she could just talk about Jennifer's body.
Yeah, I'll let her talk about it because I've only seen it one time and it's been years, so I don't even remember it that much.
You need to give it a watch because it did a lot for me on second watch.
I'm probably definitely gonna have to watch it before we go because that's gonna be one of her main movies. Obviously, so I have to know something about it. Then the following Wednesday after that on Filthy with Facci, I don't even know what episode 8 I think. We're bringing the people behind the new My Bloody Valentine fan film on Valentine Bluffs.
Oh, awesome!
So we're gonna talk to them about that, and obviously I'm crazy looking forward to that, being a huge My Bloody Valentine fan. And then we're doing back-to-back Filthy with Facci episodes, and then the week after that, we're bringing James Grimm on, and we're going to my other favorite franchise, Halloween. We're doing Halloween 78 versus Halloween 2007 versus Halloween 2018. So
a fancy episode of RePlay versus ReBoot, dude. That's awesome.
I'm looking forward to that. So
absolutely,
a lot of good stuff coming.
Oh,
that's
awesome!
exciting.
And, speaking of the My Bloody Valentine, Matt, I'm glad you brought that up to everybody's attention because back from the Dead episode we're going to do with Destiny for the May one, we are going to be giving them a special shout out. So we appreciate that because we're going to help promote their work. Because I even watched the trailer of that, or like the little teaser, and it looked awesome.
Most definitely.
No doubt.
So, Brad, do you want to try to attempt of what we got coming up?
Yeah, just coming up here pretty soon. Obviously, we have we're in the middle of our Saw review series at this point. I'm not sure when this video is coming out exactly, so I don't know which movie we're going to be on. But we're in the middle of those. We got Friday the 13th, obviously coming up in May. It's with Filthy Dan and Nick Cooling, and then obviously House of the Dead's going to be doing the watch-alongs as well on this Fridays. So that's going to be good. We're excited about both of those projects, and then obviously we're going to continue hammering out some Beers with the Bros discussions, slash it outs, and next month, of course, we'll be jumping back over here with Matt Facci doing some more replay reboots, which we'll put a link. We'll put a poll out eventually for you guys to vote on our next episode.
Oh yeah, buddy! And then of course every Monday.
Sorry, that next episode replay reboot's going to be over on Matt Facci's channel again for the next one.
Yes, sir.
It certainly will be. And then, of course, every Mondays we got the Lunch Club from 12 to 12:50, and of course, Real Men and Real Movies with the J-Man over on his channel. And we'll be working on Back from the Dead, the May episode or May 2021 episode with Destiny. So we got a lot of great things coming up, and we're excited to share with you guys.
Absolutely.
All righty. So I'm going to close us now. So, guys, what did you all think about Replay Reboot Episode 2 of The Hills Have Eyes? Are you on Team Original or are you on Team Remake? Let us know in that comment section down below. Let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter, Snapchat, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Those links are in the description. So are Matt's links down there for his channel, his Facebook, and his Instagram. We're going to make sure to put those. So go check him out if you haven't seen him before. His stuff's going to be down there as well.
Yeah, and guys, he just makes absolutely great content. Like, I'm always looking forward to seeing what he has loaded up on his channel. So be sure, if you're not a subscriber of his, I highly suggest you go over to subscribe to his channel. Especially, I'm biased too, because the other has been included on his channel, and I am a super huge fan of his.
Right over there.
He's a good friend. Oh,
God, you killed him, you bastard!
He keeps getting pushed farther and farther away.
Oh man, I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken now. I gotta get the hell out of here. And while getting out of here, be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe, and of course ring that bell, ding ding ding, so y'all know when the next video's up and ready, and when episode 4 of Replay versus Reboot will be on this channel.
Oh, 4 on our channel. Yeah. Cool. All right. Sounds good. Yep. We had a good time today. Great episode. Hills Have Eyes. Next time we're going to be having another time. Yeah. We'll see you guys soon.
See you guys.
Peace.